Alrighty, good morning English 200 students. We have got here just a quick video to give you some reminders, give you some pointers, hopefully clarify a couple things so that you feel comfortable with what's expected of you this week and you feel good moving forward. So let's get to it. The first thing I'd remind you of is that it's going to be a really good idea to read that week 1 outline. It should be the first thing that's posted under that week 1 heading in Canvas. Reading that week 1 outline and reading through the whole thing is going to be essential for you. That's just got an outline, like an overview of everything that's going on this week, our objectives, so what are we trying to learn, and then even from that you can pull like, so why does it matter? That's all in the overview, along with a roadmap of the things that we have coming up and the things that are due, when they're due. And you can assume that unless I say otherwise, you can turn everything in through Canvas. You just look for the assignment with that name in Canvas, and you would hit submit assignment and submit it. If it's a file or if it's a discussion post, you just respond to the discussion post. I know that most of you are familiar with that already, but some of us are new to Canvas and are just figuring it out. If you're new to Canvas, that's okay. You can just send an email and I can help you out with any aspects of Canvas that you are confused on. So that week 1 outline, essential. Read it. It'll help you. We've got tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m., so that's Wednesday the 19th, 8:30 a.m. We've got an optional Zoom tutorial session, and what that's going to look like is essentially just an informal question and answer session where you can ask any questions about the course, syllabus, anything like that. I can help you out and hopefully clear up any misconceptions, misunderstandings that are going on. And it'll be good. I am going to record that session and I am going to post it. So I would highly encourage you to show up if you have questions, because it'll just be easier to work through it over Zoom than like emailing back and forth, especially because I sometimes respond to email at weird times. So yeah, show up if you got questions. But if you are not able to make it to the session, just know that it will be posted. Yeah. And showing up and asking questions is going to be really valuable, not only for you, but if I say this to middle schoolers all the time, so I'm sure you guys know this already, but if you have a question, somebody else probably has the same question. So you asking it in the session will probably be really helpful, not only to you, but also to other people as well. So yeah, Zoom tutorials happening, and virtual office hours are also happening today. I will be having virtual office hours from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., so 11 to noon. What that means is that at that time, I will just have my email up and in front of me, so I'll be able to respond as quickly as possible to anything that comes through to me. Or if you would like to just hop on Zoom and clarify something really quick, just send me a message saying that you want to do that, and I'll give you directions for doing Zoom office hours. So that's also another avenue that you can get help or clarification or anything that you need for today. Although if you are burned out on Zoom, I completely understand. I think there was a point where I think it was in April, I was getting legitimately angry whenever someone asked me to log on to Zoom. Just from teaching online completely, even our house church meetings being on Zoom, it felt like Black Mirror, if you guys have watched that. So yeah, opportunities to get help. Again, just to reiterate, Zoom tutorial tomorrow morning, virtual office hours today, 11 to noon. Be there if you need help. Send me an email. Things that are due, that are coming up. This week, I will say, is a bit of an irregular kind of way that things are going to be due. I know that in coming weeks, there's going to be a little bit more of a rhythm to when things are going to be due, and you're going to be able to kind of get in that rhythm. But because it was the first week, things are just structured a little bit strangely. So if it's throwing you for a major loop that we have one little thing due Tuesday, little things Wednesday, and then some stuff due on Friday, my apologies. It's going to be a little bit more rhythmic as we move forward. But here's what we've got coming up that's due. We've got a syllabus quiz that's due tonight. This quiz is less about getting right answers and more about you just engaging with the syllabus and asking any questions that you have about the syllabus, or making me aware of any issues that the syllabus presents for you, and if there's something that we need to work out, we can work it out. So syllabus quiz, get it done, should be pretty quick. You've got some reading. There's a bunch of little informational texts that are posted. You'll be able to see those texts listed out in the overview. Just give those a quick look. There's one that you'll need to type your name into a text box just to affirm that you've read it. And then you're going to need to make sure that you read the introduction to the Top Hat textbook. So if you haven't gotten onto Top Hat yet and you need help with it, let me know. I can help you out with getting logged onto Top Hat. You want to purchase that text directly through Top Hat rather than going through the bookstore, because that'll save you about $40. So, introduction to the Top Hat textbook, you want to make sure to read that. And that's going to lay kind of the foundation for everything that we're going to be working with this semester. So you want to make sure that you're reading it and you're asking yourself, okay, am I understanding this? Am I really getting what's going on here? And if I'm not, you can Google search the terms that are being mentioned if that will help you, maybe if the terms are presented in a little bit of a different way. You can ask a classmate, you can ask me. You got resources to help you understand that introduction. But it is important to actually read through that whole thing. I think sometimes we get readings in college classes and we think it's not important to read them. I've been there. I've learned that it's important just to do the readings. So read that introduction to the textbook, because we're going to be building heavily on it in the future, but also in this week. So to respond to the information you're going to be getting in the introduction, you have 2 discussion posts to respond to. One about local arguments, and that's due Wednesday. Do make sure to read that assignment description though, because it requires a little bit of like getting up and moving around from you. So you'll make sure to check that out. Again, I know that some people have asked some questions about that. It's a little bit of a confusing assignment at times, but I think once it makes sense, I think you guys will really enjoy actually getting that assignment done. Or at least you can pretend like you enjoy it. And then we have a discussion that is due on, let's see, it's due, the rhetorical situation discussion board is due on Friday. And that's just making sense of an argument in its context. Where if you haven't done that sort of thing before, I think you'll realize that this is actually making sense of things in their context. It's actually a process we go through every day, and it's a really important context for getting information across to people. So, yeah, go ahead and check out that discussion post. It's going to take you a little bit more time than the one that's due on Wednesday, so do make sure to read it ahead of time. Other things that are due on Friday, the only other assignment that you have for that day is the introductory essay. So that's going to be a 2 to 3 page assignment. It's a little bit more extensive, so read it ahead of time. Maybe jot down some notes for what you want to write, and then make sure that you're understanding that assignment description. If you're not understanding it, seriously, just send an email to me, ask a classmate for help, use your resources that you have to understand it. But make sure to do that before Friday, right? Because it's due Friday, and I'm sure that you want to enjoy your weekend. So maybe give it a look today. Ask any questions that you have so that you can get it done before 11:59 on Friday. Alrighty, so you need anything, reach out. You have my email, and I will talk to you later. See ya.